hat because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Yep, it sure is. Uh, so, how's that roller coaster going, Canadians? Are we having fun yet? Hi, welcome to Goth Mother's Reselling Closet Adventure Strategizing channel here on the U of Tubes. Um, we're in some crazy times now, and I'm sure things are gonna get worse before they get better. Maybe they're not bad at all where you're standing. Who knows? I have to wear my hat because we have to hang on to our hats for the next while. So I want to talk about two things today, but before I do, make sure if you like what you see in here, that you like, share, subscribe. Um, I really love it if you share my YouTubes when they have information. And this one, I hope we'll have some information that will be helpful, or maybe I'm just saying what you already know, but we don't know what you know. We don't know what we don't know to if we don't know it, then we know what we know once we know it. So, as you know, those of you who have seen me before, I'm in Canada. In fact, I'm in Toronto, and whoo, we had one heck of a storm this morning, and if the weather ever goes above 5 degrees again, I'll be happy. Today it went up to -1, so I guess that was pretty balmy compared to how some things have been. Anyways, we're not here to talk about the weather, but when you're trapped inside all the time getting cabin fever for a couple of months, for those of us that, I don't even know if people, yeah, I guess people are going skiing and stuff. I know there's been some years where there hasn't been enough snow even, but you're just trapped inside because it's cold. Anyways, so when we're trapped inside, we can really focus on our reselling, you know, doing stuff on our computer, making our listings, doing our photos, all that great stuff, right? Right? So, as you know, I have a store on Poshmark Canada, and I've been trying to deal with my stores on eBay and Etsy. So the first situation that Canadians had, or people with Canadian stores, I should say, was we had a ginormous postal strike, which really destroyed our holiday season. My Poshmark closet has bounced back a bit. I never did have a lot of sales because I've been doing this like a year and a half, almost 2 years now. But obviously I'm still not doing it right because I only get a couple sales a week. However, I also do not list all the time, and I am just trying to move along things I already have as opposed to going out buying things that are super trendy and then reselling them. So we all have our different strategies and how we operate our businesses. And it took me a while to get to that point of what I was trying to do with my Poshmark closet. And so right now I just want to move things out that, so I can make room to walk around my apartment and not pay for storage units and all that. I do have an entire storage unit full of things. And I think most of them are really great, but we are in times now where people aren't so interested in vintage and collectibles and stuff. So I may have to wait a few more months. So I'm not even listing things that I feel like people in a depression or economic slowdown or whatever buzzword we want to use for what's going on right now. I'm not even waiting to spinning my wheels on trying to list things that, nobody has money for that. So I'm just trying to list things that are practical, coats, clothes, Poshmark coats, and, Poshmark is mostly clothes anyways. And then my other things, I was starting to ramp up a bit with my eBay. I was putting more things on, more toys and stuff, but then, not even just thinking about people not having a lot of extra income these days, but then now there's a new president in the United States, and he's putting down some laws. So, first of all, Poshmark Canada, is a great way for Canadians to help Canadians. You can buy Canadian when you're shopping on Poshmark Canada because Poshmark Canada can only sell to other Canadians. It can only stay within Canada. We can't ship to the States or anywhere else in the world. So I highly recommend that people up their Poshmarking, selling and buying, especially buying, because Poshmark not only will allow you to support small Canadian businesses, but you're also contributing to keeping things out of the landfill. And, we're recycling, we're moving, we're giving things a second life and keeping products out in the world that might have otherwise been thrown away or sent to the landfills, right? So, I still believe in that whole strategy of Poshmark and other reselling businesses that we are, instead of just throwing stuff out. And I know a lot of people that still do throw out perfectly good things because they don't even donate them. And I'm like, oh my God, at least donate and fill it in a bag and drop it at, even if you hate Value Village because they're gouging us all. I haven't been to Value Village in over a year now. Because I just can't believe the prices in there. Anyways, so that's the one thing. So as we had the big scare, as of this recording, which is February the 5th, we had a big scare or threat from the U.S. president that he was going to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian products coming across the border. And whether that affects our actual eBay and stuff like that, who knows? Because it didn't happen yet. We have a 1 month grace to see what's going to happen with that. But as resellers, you really need to read the news or watch the news or digest the news, however you get the news about what's happening in the tariff world, because anything can happen. It's not business as usual by any stretch of the imagination right now. And things are changing every minute, it seems. So just keep yourself educated and aware of what is going on with regard to Canada and the United States. So just working on your Poshmark Canada store and selling to other people in Canada is one great way to not have to deal with any of it. So if that's what you're doing, you don't have to read the news because you're fine. You're selling in Canada and shopping in Canada. However, that brings me to the second thing I want to discuss now about being in these reselling businesses. So this isn't going to affect Poshmark Canada because, as we established, Poshmark Canada can only sell in Canada, so move that to the side. However, a lot of Canadians somehow, I still don't know what magic they use, but they do have American stores, so they're shipping across the border. And then that also brings us to Etsy, eBay, and whatever else there is. I'm not sure what else there is. I know Dibbit or what, I don't know. However, I personally have Etsy and eBay stores. And the minute I finish this recording, after I, upload it and put all the pictures on whatever, I have to take a good look at those stores. I saw today on, I don't know if any of you watch Josh Galt, and he's a Canadian who has American stores. He does stuff, I believe he's mostly eBay, and he has business and he, for the longest time, he was living near the border, I guess around Niagara Falls or so. And so he'd drive across and in his storage units, I think he had some in Canada and some in the US. Anyway, so he's doing a lot of cross-border stuff. And over the last few months, he's kind of shifted his business to other sorts of things anyways, but he does make very informative videos. And so I saw today on his community, where you type the stuff out, he was talking about those new tariffs going into the States, and how there was a shipment going into the States, not his, and it was a trucker or whatever, delivering a bunch, I think it was postal or what, anyways, they were crossing the border. And so they're going to be hit with a $50,000 fine because there was a shirt in there from an Etsy seller, and I presume Canadian. I don't know. I don't know the details. I didn't deep dive. I just wanted to get on here and ramble about it. You can look it up yourself. You can look at his website. Maybe he'll make a video about it. I mean, his YouTube site, not. And so I guess what I understand happened is that this Etsy person makes their own designs and stuff. They created a shirt, they sold it, shipped it, but the shirt is made in China. So now this little Etsy person like you and me is going to get hit with a $50,000 fine. Now, whether they will actually get that $50,000 fine, it's, it could be thrown out or appealed or whatever. I don't know. But that is scary shit, man. So what I was starting to say is the minute I finish this video, I'm going into my eBay store and I'm going into my Etsy store and seeing what's what. For my Etsy store, I'm actually going to shut it all down. Because all my things on, not all my things, but 99% of my products on Etsy are created from, I took some pictures of cat and then I worked with Canva. So I've made some little designs of the witch cat, and I've read books and this and that. And I make all these little, not a lot, there's a couple of different designs that I thought would be fun for people who like black cats or people who like to read on my Etsy store. And I work with Printify, who sends out the shirts and stuff. And I understand that, I'm pretty sure when I set up my store, I haven't gone back in to double check all this. When I set up my store, I did pick Canadian people that would make these shirts and send them out. But in fact, I don't know. I don't know if the people who are making the shirts made the shirts in Canada. They're supposed to be. I'm pretty sure I clicked all the made in Canada ones, but I'm not positive. So I'm just shutting it all down. I don't need no $50,000 fine. A couple of vintage items I have up there. I know one of them for sure is like from Hong Kong or something like that. A beautiful sequin vintage shirt I'm selling for a couple $100 because it's it's beautiful. But I'm taking it down. You can get it over on Poshmark Canada, but I'm not even going to try to play that game. So all that I'm going to have left on my Etsy store when I finish is I've just started in the last week. I decided I want to do tarot readings on the Etsy store. When I first opened an Etsy store back when Etsy was first invented, I used to do tarot readings and sell crystals and charms and jewelry and all, spell bags, spell kits, all that kind of stuff on Etsy. And then Etsy decided that no one was allowed to sell tarot readings, crystals, stones, spells, nothing to do with witchy shit, occult, metaphysical. It was all shut down. We were all kicked off the platform. And so I was super bitter for many, many years because as the years have gone on, I've seen people selling all that stuff. And then when I reopened my store about a year and a half ago, I didn't reopen that store. I started fresh. Goth Mother's Creations. My old store, I forget what it was called, Tarot Paths or something, but this one is Goth Mother's Creations. And so when I reopened my store and I was poking around Etsy, I saw so many people doing tarot readings and stuff. And I'm like, I was kicked off for I almost got fined. What? So I'm like, hell, I've been reading tarot cards for over 30 years. This is one of my main bread and butters. I read tarot at a corporate function. I make a few $100s and I'm set for the week, right? So now I'm offering tarot readings on Etsy. And so how that's going to work, what I see other people doing is you just type in your question, or even if you don't have a question, just say, hey, what's going on? And then I will either do a video like this, or I will write up a report, and then you get it. That's it. And that's how I used to do it way back in the day, before technology got really good. I think it was all written Oh boy, what happened to my picture? Oh, that's right, because I didn't move my mouse. You guys didn't see anything, I'm sure, but it went black. Talking about the metaphysical. Ah. So, yeah, so back in the day, I think it was just written reports. I don't think we had the technology to do all the videos. And that's how long, like it was the 90s, you know, it was 2000 or whatever. It was very long time. Well, look up when Etsy began. I was there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove everything off Etsy except the on-demand tarot readings, horoscopes, that sort of stuff where you ask me a question and I can just give it to you. And that's it. Then I'm going to look over my eBay things. I don't have a lot on eBay yet. I think I only have about 100 items or so. I'll look through some of those. I'm going to see if anything's from China or Hong Kong. Now, I've been Chit Chats. I signed up with Chit Chats a few months ago, but I haven't sold anything on eBay yet. So, since I've had the Chit Chats, so I'm still not too sure how it works. And I went to a webinar they had last week and it was very informative. So they send a lot of emails trying to keep all of us updated on what the heck is going on. So it seems like the idea is that if you fill out the proper customs form and say that the item was made in China or Hong Kong, you're not going to get dinged with the fine, but you'll have some kind of tariff. And I really don't understand how that works. I don't know if we pay the tariff to Chit Chats or to Canada Post or to or to the US, or I don't understand quite how it works. But if you are signed up with Chit Chats or Stallion or any of those other, or even Canada Post itself is probably sending me emails that I haven't seen. Really get yourself educated about this stuff, because you may think, like this Etsy person, you may think, oh, it's my own creation. I put my own stuff on a t-shirt, but the t-shirt came from China. Maybe you're reselling some Shein, S-H-E-I-N. I still don't know how the hell to say it. Or, you know, Bloom Chick, or I want to say Temu, but do people sell stuff from Temu on eBay and Etsy? Or Poshmark, but I have heard in the Reddit threads, I do see people complaining that people do sell stuff on Temu and charge a fortune for it. Anyways, go through and be vigilant. If you're shipping outside of Canada, get educated on what is involved with these tariffs. You do not need a $50,000 fine. So just make sure either you understand what you're selling and do all the proper paperwork and pay the proper prices to whoever it is you're supposed to pay, and all will be well, because it is the cost of doing business. And this is a very new and sudden thing. I think it started today or yesterday. I know the Chit Chats email today said something about anything that was before the 3rd is fine, but everything after that, you know, we got to do all these things. So get educated, stay on top of it. Don't get caught up in the net of whatever. And then as time goes on, as you know, when the 1 month is up, I'll come back and we'll talk some more about what else might be affecting our businesses from shipping from Canada to the United States. If there is going to be 25% tariff on our resale business, because we don't really know yet. But like I said, just go through your inventory and just make sure you're educated on what you're selling and where you're shipping it to. All right. So that's your Goth Mother's friendly advice. Hang on to your hats, stay educated, read between the lines, play it safe. It's not worth that $50 to get a $50,000 fine. So really stay on top of it all. And like, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate all of you who watch these videos. And I will be back soon, hopefully with something more pleasant to say. Bye for now.